There was a man who won 2 Pulitzer Prizes. His entire life he repeated one sentence: I could survive anything except blindness. Then he went blind. And what happened next destroys almost every I could never survive that thought you've ever had, because he didn't just survive it, he became happier. And the reason reveals one of the deepest truths about the human mind. His name was Booth Tarkington, famous novelist, respected writer. The one thing he believed would ruin his life finally arrived. His friends expected him to collapse. He didn't. He adapted. He learned to experience books through listening. He kept writing, he kept laughing, and eventually he admitted something shocking. He was more content than before he lost his sight. Most people never discover why this happens. They spend their entire lives exhausting themselves, fighting realities that were never going to move. Imagine a man trying to punch a hurricane. He swings harder and harder while the storm keeps moving untouched. That is what most human beings do every day. We punch the past, we punch aging, we punch death, we punch other people's personalities, we punch situations that cannot be reversed. The hurricane remains exactly where it is. We are the only thing breaking apart. There are 5 words that dissolve enormous amounts of suffering when spoken honestly. It is so, it cannot be otherwise. Most people resist those words with everything they have, and that's exactly why they stay trapped. Almost every wisdom tradition in human history points toward the same principle. Some things are within your control, some things are not. Peace comes from knowing the difference. Your effort, your choices, your actions, your response belong to you. Aging does not. The past does not. Other people's behavior does not. Mortality does not. Most suffering begins when people demand control over things that were never theirs to control. Booth Tarkington spent years fearing blindness because he believed happiness depended on preventing it. Blindness arrived anyway, and then he discovered adaptation. Modern psychology now confirms what people like Tarkington discovered through experience. Human beings can adapt to almost anything if they stop resisting reality long enough for the nervous system to adjust. Studies on people who lost limbs, sight, loved ones, careers, or entire identities repeatedly show the same pattern. The people who recover are usually not the strongest. They are the people who stop arguing with what already exists. Viktor Frankl noticed this in concentration camps. Those who accepted reality were often able to preserve meaning and continue functioning. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is conservation of energy. The ego believes resistance is strength. It tells you that accepting reality means weakness, surrender, defeat. But constantly fighting the uncontrollable drains your life faster than the uncontrollable thing itself. William James repeated one sentence twice because he believed it mattered that much. Be willing to have it so. Be willing to have it so. Not passive, not hopeless, willing. Because once you stop wasting energy fighting the storm, you finally have energy available to build something inside the storm instead. So the answer is just accept everything. Never resist anything. Stay passive, right? No. That's the misunderstanding that ruins people. Acceptance exists to protect action, not replace it. You accept what cannot be changed so you can fully focus on what still can. The famous Serenity Prayer captured this perfectly. Serenity to accept what cannot be changed, courage to change what can, and wisdom to know the difference. Booth Tarkington did not surrender to blindness. He stopped wasting energy fighting blindness so he could continue writing, creating, and living. So here's a lesson underneath all of this. You are exhausted because you are fighting hurricanes, the past, aging, mortality, reality itself, and none of those storms notice your resistance. Say the words honestly. It is so. It cannot be otherwise. Then redirect the energy you recover toward the life you still have available. Booth Tarkington went blind and became happier. Beethoven went deaf and composed music. Viktor Frankl lost nearly everything and still found meaning. Human beings are more adaptive than fear allows us to believe. But adaptation only begins after resistance ends, because the real tragedy is not pain. The real tragedy is wasting years fighting pain that already exists instead of building a life around it. Acceptance does not shrink your world. It frees your remaining strength so you can build a life around what remains.